Hi students, yesterday we talked about interpretation of various graphs. Today we are going to go into deep understanding of line graphs. So do turn to page 119 to refer to our lesson today. So before we even start on page 119, I want to share with you some practical use of line graphs. Okay, one of the very common tools that we use for shares monitoring is line graph. So I have copied this shares graph of Qantas. So I'm sure most of us know this big company, the Qantas Airline. So over the month from the 30th of July until the closure, which is the 2nd of September. I'm just using this as an illustration. Okay, how do we read a shares graph? So first, let's use two reference points. One of the reference point will be 30th of July, which is here, okay, and 2nd of September, which is here, okay. Imagine Colin bought 1,000 Qantas shares. He's a rich man on the 30th of July. So for 1,000 shares, he would have spent $4.60 for each share, and 1,000 of them, he would have spent $4,600. Okay, and after slightly more than 1 month, on the 2nd of September, he decided to sell it. So on 2nd December, he decided to sell all his Qantas shares. So at that point in time, when he sold the shares, the price has become $5.22. It's not $5.25 because this is based on what I could see. So that's why I'm using this at 7 p.m. Okay, 522 instead of 525. So I'm using 522. Okay, so for 1,000 shares, he sold it at 522. He collected $5,220. So over that, almost slightly longer than a month, you actually earn about $620. You can basically subtract the value on what he sold versus what he paid for, and that's a profit. So the profit is $620 with an investment of $4,600. It's quite reasonable, isn't it? Okay, but do take note that Mr. Leong is just using a very positive case. Okay, shares can go up and down. So at $4.60, what happens if at the end of 1 month it drops to $3.50? So it can also happen. So you do not invest in shares unless you really have a very good understanding on what's happening in the market. And one thing I do foresee that the Qantas shares will go up, okay, by end of the year, because when the countries reopen up for us to travel to in the future, Qantas will be flying to these countries and their airline business will pick up. And I believe the value will be more than $5.22 by then. Okay, it should go up to $6 or even $7 by then. Okay, this is my prediction. Okay, what about this? Okay, you have a line graph here talking about the number of people in a store at different times from 10 o'clock to 6 p.m. Okay, imagine you are a store manager. Ponder over it. If you are a store manager, what do you think you will use this graph for? Think carefully. That's right. As a store manager, you need to plan for manpower, how many people to be working in the store, because you want to make sure that you have enough people to support the customer when the shop is open, isn't it? So manpower planning, lunch break. You see, I can't be planning for the staff to go for lunch at 1 p.m. That is not a good time because a lot of people are coming in. So that's the time that I need to delay. Maybe I delay the lunch until maybe about 3 o'clock, or maybe at 2:30 or 2 o'clock, then I give them a break. Okay, or I give them an earlier break. Okay, so that during the busiest time that in the store, I will have enough workers to support me. But what about a customer? So what do you think the purpose of this graph? If I'm aware of the number of people attending, especially during this pandemic, the government has actually told us not to go to the store if it's possible. And truly, if we need to go to the store, we go to the store when it is not as crowded, isn't it? So we look at the times. Oh, maybe at the beginning part of the day or towards the tail end of the day, before I visit the store, and that at the time when I go to the store, there will not be that many people. Okay, so that I will not be so vulnerable to be exposed to the virus. Okay, so coming back to the work that you need to do, okay, guys, you're given a straight line graph. Okay, answer the questions accordingly based on what is drawn here. Read the question carefully to see which specific point that you're looking at. Okay, and then if there is a need for you to find the difference between the temperature, just find the two values and you subtract. Okay, they even ask you for an estimate. Okay, what about at 12 noon? 12 noon, do you think, bear in mind it's 12 noon, not 12 a.m., it's 12 noon. So where do you think you will be? So by looking at the occurrence, for every 1 hour, there is a drop of 1 degree. So if it's 1 o'clock, it's at 32. So at 12 noon, it will be higher, isn't it? So what is the temperature? Okay, give a good guess. Okay, there's also another part here whereby you need to gather today's temperature. Okay, instead of all of you looking at different platform in getting the temperature, I've collated a temperature for a day, and I put it together here. Okay, I want you to use Excel. Okay, under Excel 2D straight line. Okay, under same thing, you key in this data, the time 7 a.m. 20 degrees, 8 a.m. 20 degrees, so on and so forth. Just put it in, and then from there I want you to generate the graph on your own, and you should get a graph something like this. Okay, so give yourself that challenge. Let's learn how to do it well. Okay, it's an important skill for you to have, because in future when you're doing project at in a high school, you need to have this skill. Okay, let's learn it well. You understand? And then during the next lesson, I will show you how to do it. Okay, I'm not going to show you now. I'm going to show you in the next lesson. Okay, and then the last part here is talking about recording the score, and there is actually a pattern. For every 10 seconds, there is a leakage. Is it a leakage of water, or water is being filled up? Okay, in terms of liters, 10 seconds is 2 liters, 20 seconds is 4 liters. So there's always an increase of 2 liters after every 10 seconds. So from here, you continue predicting, 16, and then you carry on. I'm not going to continue everything for you. You got to fill up the remaining information, and then from there, you put the information into the graph, and after you plot it, you look something like this. Okay, you look something like this. And with that information, you are required to answer question B, C, and D. Okay, easy. Yep, not a difficult one. I think the most challenging is D. It's about extrapolating it to 40. So when will you actually hit 40 liters? Okay, you got to ask yourself that question. Okay, all good. So that's all for today. So if you have any issue, just drop me a note on Teams or direct message. Bye.